Have you ever noticed how some people seem to glide through life with an almost magical ease? Whether it's driving the car you've always dreamed of, moving into a beautiful new home, or climbing the professional ladder at lightning speed, they always appear to attract success with little struggle. And while the world around them buzzes with noise, chaos, and competition, they remain calm, composed, and unshaken, like a mountain rising above the storm. You might have caught yourself wondering, maybe even feeling a bit envious. How do they make it all look so effortless? What is their secret? Are they just lucky, or do they know something the rest of us don't? The truth lies not in what they have, but in how they think. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." That single insight may be the key that unlocks the entire mystery behind these people's success. They are not rushing through life, nor are they fixated on outcomes they cannot control. Instead, they have mastered something far more powerful: self-control. They know that achievement is not just about ambition or talent. It's about mindset. Every day, they train their minds to stay centered, adjust their thoughts with discipline, and align their actions with clear intent. And when you too begin to quiet your thoughts and clear away mental clutter, something incredible happens. You stop chasing, and things begin to flow. The goals you once anxiously pursued start to align naturally with your direction. In today's video, we'll explore this hidden force through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Let's begin with the first principle, the power of calm. Calmness is not a lack of emotion, nor is it indifference. It is the ability to remain composed and clear-minded, even when the world around you is falling apart. In real life, unexpected challenges are inevitable. Financial pressures, relationship conflicts, health scares, or career uncertainty. But it is in these very moments, when everything feels uncertain, that calmness becomes your greatest strength. A calm mind does not mean a passive mind. It means a focused one. Free from the fog of panic and negative emotion, your mind becomes a steady lens that can analyze situations clearly and act decisively. In this stillness, you gain power. The power to influence outcomes without being consumed by them. Seneca reminds us again, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. How many times have we created entire catastrophes in our minds before anything even happened? We imagine failure, rejection, disaster, and we react emotionally to shadows. But the moment we return to calm, we realize most of our fears were never real. They were illusions born from anxiety. When calm, we don't just survive. We make smart, deliberate moves that change the course of events. A perfect example of this is Captain Chesley "Sully" Sullenberger, the pilot of U.S. Airways flight. Just minutes after takeoff on January 15, 2009, his plane collided with a flock of birds, causing both engines to fail. Imagine the sheer weight of that moment. Lives in his hands, no engine power, and only seconds to decide what to do. But Sully didn't panic. He didn't freeze. He remained astonishingly calm. In that calm, he assessed every possible option and chose the only one that could work. An emergency landing on the Hudson River. And because of his calm mindset and emotional control, everyone on board survived. That story is not just about skill or heroism. It's about how emotional composure in chaos can save lives. Now imagine applying even a fraction of that principle to your own life. Not during an emergency, but during your daily conflicts, career decisions, or difficult conversations. When calm, we see the bigger picture. We think clearly. We move intentionally. Panic clouds judgment. Emotional outbursts lead to regrets. But calmness gives us the space to respond rather than react. That is the essence of Stoicism. This philosophy doesn't tell you to kill your emotions or live coldly. Quite the opposite. It teaches you to understand your emotions, to recognize them as signals, but not to let them drive your choices when reason should lead. Calmness in the Stoic view is not weakness, it's mastery. Because while we cannot control every event, we can always control our response. And that response, rooted in calm and reason, is often what shapes the outcome more than the event itself. Throughout your life, you will face failure, rejection, pressure, and heartbreak. But how you face those storms, whether in a frenzy or with focused stillness, will define the life you lead. In our last reflection, we explored how calmness gives us clarity and strength when the world feels overwhelming. Now, let's go deeper into what this really means. Life is full of struggles, unexpected setbacks, and emotional turbulence. But instead of allowing fear or anger to control us, cultivating calmness gives us the ability to see the path forward with steady eyes. It doesn't mean suppressing what we feel, but rather learning to acknowledge our emotions without being ruled by them. This subtle yet powerful shift not only leads to better decision-making, but also helps us build inner strength and self-respect. When our mind is calm, we're no longer reacting blindly to chaos. We're choosing how to move through it. Our capacity to handle adversity expands dramatically. As Seneca once wrote, many of the things we fear never actually happen. The monsters live mostly in our imagination. But when we ground ourselves in calmness, those monsters shrink. The obstacles before us no longer appear insurmountable. We begin to see them for what they really are: problems with solutions, not threats to our survival. Calmness, then, is not just a temporary state of mind. It's a long-term strategy. It's a way of living. When we learn to regulate our emotions and maintain composure, especially in the face of uncertainty, we regain control over our lives. And with that control, we unlock new levels of confidence, clarity, and resilience. Calmness becomes the key that opens the door to everything we once thought was out of reach. It becomes the foundation on which a fulfilling life is built. This brings us to lesson 2. Let everything flow naturally. Imagine for a moment what your life would feel like if everything unfolded with ease. Picture yourself waking up without tension, moving through your day with a lightness in your step, and feeling aligned with every moment, as if life itself were gently carrying you forward. That feeling, graceful flow, is something many people long for. But too often, life doesn't feel that way. Instead, it feels heavy. We push, we force, we strive, and in doing so, we often burn ourselves out. We fight reality instead of flowing with it. And that's where Stoicism offers a transformative lesson. To live peacefully, we must learn to let go, not of our dreams or values, but of the illusion of total control. Letting go does not mean apathy. It means acceptance. It means realizing that not everything is meant to go our way. We can't control every person, every outcome, or every moment. But we can control our perspective. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." His words remind us that the way we interpret life has more power than the events themselves. How many times have you found yourself trapped in worry, even though nothing terrible was actually happening? How many times have things gone differently than you expected, and the more you tried to fix or control them, the worse they became? That's the moment to pause, breathe, and let go. Not to surrender your purpose, but to stop forcing life to fit your script. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling. Long before her name became famous, she faced rejection after rejection. Publisher after publisher said no to her manuscript. For many, that would have been the end. But Rowling kept going. Why? Because she had let go of the illusion that she could control acceptance. She focused on what she could control: her craft, her commitment, her voice. And in doing so, she gave herself the space for success to arrive. That's what letting go does. It creates space. It invites in new possibilities. It removes the pressure of perfection and replaces it with openness, with grace. So how do you start? Begin by observing what you're clinging to. What situations are you trying to force? Which outcomes are draining your energy because you can't let them go? Instead of wrestling with them, shift your focus to how you respond. Accept what you cannot change, and change what you can: your thoughts, your choices, your energy. As you do, life begins to move with more ease. You feel less resistance, less fatigue, and more importantly, you feel more alive, more present, more connected to the flow that was always there waiting for you. As you begin to release control and allow life to unfold naturally, you'll start noticing something remarkable. The opportunities you once missed now become visible. They were always there, but now you're finally tuned in. This leads us to a fascinating and powerful concept that has transformed the lives of countless people: the law of attraction. This principle is not just motivational fluff. It's the very key to understanding how to manifest the experiences, relationships, and outcomes you want in life. Let me explain. Lesson 3. The power of the law of attraction. Right now, whether you realize it or not, your life is being guided and shaped by invisible forces, cosmic patterns that respond directly to the energy you put out. Among these forces, none is more impactful than the law of attraction. Much like gravity, it is always in effect, quietly but powerfully influencing the direction of your life. The beauty of this law is that once you become aware of how it works, you can begin to harness it to create lasting, positive change. Because the truth is, you are not a passive observer. You are a creator. In every moment, through every thought and emotion, whether conscious or unconscious, you are actively shaping your reality. And once you understand how to use this power, you can begin directing your thoughts with intention, magnetizing the outcomes you desire with far less resistance. You might be wondering, is this really true? If you're skeptical, just take a closer look at your own life. Everything you currently have, your relationships, your work, even your day-to-day emotions, are the product of thoughts you've repeated in the past. According to the law of attraction, like attracts like. When you radiate positivity, you attract more of it. When you focus on what's missing, you create more lack. That's why gratitude is the secret key. It shifts your energy instantly. Being thankful for what you already have opens you up to receive more. As the philosopher Epictetus wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This simple truth lies at the core of the law of attraction. When you are content, when you truly appreciate even the smallest blessings, you shift into a powerful state of abundance. From that state, more good things naturally begin to flow into your life. A perfect real-life example of this principle is the story of actor Jim Carrey. Long before he became a household name, Carrey was struggling, unknown, broke, and filled with uncertainty. Yet he believed deeply in the power of visualization. He wrote himself a check for $10 million with the note for acting services rendered and kept it in his wallet. Every day, he imagined himself receiving that exact amount. He didn't just daydream. He combined that vision with love, persistent effort, and, most importantly, gratitude. He remained thankful for what little he had while believing in what was coming. Years later, that very vision became a reality when he was paid $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. That check, once a symbol of hope, became a literal truth. His story is not just a stroke of luck. It's a clear demonstration of what can happen when your mindset is aligned with belief, gratitude, and clarity. More importantly, when you begin each day by cultivating gratitude, not just saying thank you mindlessly, but truly feeling it, you begin to build inner strength, self-worth, and emotional alignment. As Epictetus taught, when you're satisfied with what you already have, you become rich in both spirit and eventually material blessings. You are always in a state of creation. Every thought, every emotion is contributing to the life you're building. Start today. Begin by shifting your thoughts toward appreciation. Let go of lack. Think abundance. Feel it, breathe it, visualize it, and take inspired action to move toward it. Are you ready to change your life? If this message resonates with you, leave a comment below. Share your experience with the law of attraction. What do you want to manifest? And how will you apply this principle to bring it into your reality? Your next step is waiting. Lesson 4. Attention is presence and prosperity. In today's society, we've come to measure wealth almost exclusively in financial terms. But true prosperity, real abundance, has far more layers than just money. And it all starts with where your attention goes. After understanding how the law of attraction begins with the thoughts you cultivate and the gratitude you practice, it's time to focus on the one tool that brings those thoughts to life: mindfulness, the ability to be fully present. When we truly live in the present moment, something powerful happens. We not only improve our work performance, but we also unlock a life enriched with emotional balance, physical wellness, and genuine happiness. Mindfulness, from this perspective, is not just about slowing down. It's about aligning your energy. It allows you to break free from the grip of future anxieties and past regrets. It helps you reduce unnecessary desires and invites a deeper sense of contentment. When your attention stays anchored in the now, you gain sharper control over your emotions and behaviors. You're no longer acting from stress, fear, or pressure. Instead, every decision becomes clearer, more conscious, more grounded. A perfect example of the transformative power of mindfulness is the story of Anna, a talented interior designer. Anna often felt overwhelmed by the weight of deadlines, client expectations, and the relentless need to be creatively original. Her mind constantly jumped between what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. What if her clients hated the design? What if her ideas weren't good enough? And over time, that anxiety drained her energy and left her creatively stuck. Then one day, she made a change. Anna began practicing mindfulness every morning, just 10 minutes. Nothing complicated, just focusing on her breath, paying attention to the inhale and exhale, and carrying that awareness into her daily work. She stopped obsessing over the final outcome and started immersing herself in the present moment, the interplay of lighting, the texture of materials, the harmony of colors and space. And slowly, something shifted. Her designs became more detailed, more refined, more inspired. Her clients not only approved, they were genuinely moved by her work. Through mindfulness, Anna didn't just elevate her profession. She discovered peace of mind. She found clarity not by doing more, but by being more present. Her story is living proof that mindfulness isn't just good for business. It's good for the soul. It teaches us that prosperity isn't just measured by income, but also by mental clarity, emotional balance, and fulfillment in the smallest daily moments. When we're present, we no longer rush through life blindly. We live deliberately. Every breath becomes a moment of awareness. Every task becomes an act of creation. To truly attract what we desire, whether it's success, happiness, or peace, we must first learn to be where we are. That's how mindfulness becomes your quiet superpower. It helps you stop chasing and start aligning. It helps you experience your own life, not as a to-do list, but as a series of living, breathing moments. And now, before we continue, thank you for staying with us on this journey so far. Your presence, your focus, and your engagement are what allow this message to spread further. Together, we're building something real, one mindset shift at a time. So don't click away just yet. In fact, what's coming next might just be the most surprising part of this entire video. I promise it's worth it. Because now we're diving into a powerful truth that most people ignore, but affects every aspect of your mental clarity and productivity. Lesson 5: The importance of sleep and dreams. While most of society treats sleep like an afterthought, science and philosophy tell us something far more compelling. Sleep isn't just physical rest. It's also a vital space for your mind to recover, reset, and reimagine. Your dreams, far from being random or meaningless, often hold keys to your deepest desires, hidden worries, and creative insights. Just as Marcus Aurelius taught, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And often, it's during sleep that those thoughts rearrange themselves in ways your waking mind can't always comprehend. Dreams are messages from your subconscious, helping you process what matters most. After exploring how mindfulness and dreams can guide us toward clarity and creativity, it's time to take a closer look at someone who understood this connection deeply. Thomas Edison. Most people know him as a brilliant inventor, but few realize he had an extraordinary relationship with sleep. Edison didn't treat sleep merely as a biological necessity. He saw it as a gateway to inspiration. He would often take short naps during the day, not just to rest, but to spark creativity. As he drifted off, he held a coin in his hand. When he slipped into deep sleep, the coin would fall to the floor with a clink. waking him instantly. This technique allowed his mind to hover in that delicate space between wakefulness and dreams, where subconscious ideas rise to the surface. It was in these brief moments, neither fully asleep nor fully awake, that his most inventive concepts began to take shape. Edison's method reveals something profound. When the body is at rest, the mind becomes more open to possibilities that are normally hidden. Dreams, often viewed as random or mysterious, can actually serve as tools for problem solving and self-discovery. They do more than replay our waking thoughts. They also process unresolved tensions, offer symbolic clues, and point us toward answers we might not have consciously considered. Even if you're not an inventor, this concept applies to you. Dreams can act as a bridge between where you are now and where you want to go, helping you connect your deepest desires to the steps required to reach them. But in today's fast-paced world, restful sleep often feels like a luxury. Stress, anxiety, and endless distractions keep many of us from falling asleep easily. That's why understanding the true value of sleep can be a powerful motivator to change your habits. Prioritizing quality rest is not just an act of self-care, it's a step toward aligning your body and mind with your aspirations. When you sleep deeply and dream freely, your body recovers, your mind refreshes, and your inner voice becomes clearer. You reconnect with what truly matters to you. And that awareness shapes everything you create. So start seeing sleep not as downtime, but as a powerful part of your growth. Your dreams are gifts, clues left behind by your subconscious, waiting to be interpreted. When you wake up and take a moment to reflect on them, you begin to align your outer life with your inner truth. That's when real transformation happens, because your physical and mental states are finally working together. Which leads us to the next essential truth. Lesson 6, the power of morning. The first hours after we wake are among the most important of the day. They set the tone for everything that follows: our energy, our focus, and our emotional balance. The moment you rise from bed, your mind and body begin a fresh journey, and the way you choose to start that journey can influence every decision you make. Many believe success is about waking up at 5 a.m., charging into the day with cold showers and strict schedules. But in reality, what matters most is understanding your own rhythm. Each person has a unique biological clock, and honoring that rhythm is more effective than forcing yourself to follow someone else's model of productivity. Instead of trying to mimic others, listen to what your body tells you. Design a morning routine that energizes you, grounds you, and prepares you for the challenges ahead. One of the most powerful yet underrated habits is morning meditation. Just a few minutes of intentional breathing, silence, and stillness can clear your mind of lingering stress and invite clarity. This inner calm helps you set priorities, reduces emotional reactivity, and allows you to begin the day with peace and purpose. Alongside meditation, light physical movement can awaken your senses and sharpen your alertness. It doesn't have to be intense. A walk, some stretching, or a short yoga session is enough. As your blood flows and your muscles activate, endorphins begin to rise. These natural chemicals elevate your mood, enhance focus, and create a sense of joy that carries into your work and interactions. So remember, your morning isn't just a routine. It's a message that tells your body, your mind, and your life, I'm ready. After understanding how a mindful morning routine can set the tone for clarity and energy. Let's explore how even light physical movement can sharpen both your body and your mindset. Gentle exercise doesn't just build strength, it quietly prepares your mind to face the day's challenges with resilience. A perfect real-world example is former US President Barack Obama, who placed great importance on his morning habits. Before diving into the day's responsibilities, Obama committed to starting his mornings with structure. He often began with light workouts, followed by a few quiet moments of reflection. This wasn't just about fitness, it was his way of grounding himself before making high-pressure decisions. These peaceful routines helped him not only maintain his physical health, but also cultivate mental clarity and emotional stability. He shared that these habits gave him the space to think more clearly, plan more effectively, and stay calm under pressure. Even during turbulent times, his mornings served as an anchor, something he could return to for peace and focus. The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all formula for the perfect morning. You don't need to follow someone else's strict plan. Your routine could be as simple as sipping a quiet cup of coffee by the window, doing a 10-minute stretch, or sitting silently in meditation. What matters most is that the actions you choose bring you peace, focus, and a sense of readiness. Think of your morning like a gentle ignition. How you start determines how you move through the day. That's why it's so important to create your own version of a successful morning routine. Tune in to what your body and mind need. Maybe it's movement, maybe it's stillness, maybe it's writing, walking, or simply breathing. Whatever it is, make it yours and do it with intention. And if you've already found a morning habit that boosts your energy or sharpens your focus, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with our community. Let others learn from your experience. We all grow stronger by learning together. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What small habit gives your morning purpose? What ritual helps you feel centered and confident before the world begins to pull you in every direction? Now, let's move into something deeply powerful. Lesson 7. Visualize and create. Imagine a tiny seed buried in the soil. You water it, protect it, nurture it, and slowly it sprouts. It rises, stretches toward the sun, and eventually becomes a tree that offers shade to everything around it. Your dreams work the same way. Every great thing you hope to achieve starts as a vision, planted in the soil of your imagination. When you vividly visualize the future you desire, you are setting the stage for actions, ideas, and people to align with that vision. Imagination is not just a feel-good practice, it's a strategic tool. When you see something clearly in your mind, you begin to behave as if it's possible. And that mindset changes how you speak, act, and respond to challenges. Visualization generates positive energy. It shifts you from doubt to determination. It helps you stay focused and patient, especially when progress feels slow. Think of someone wanting to improve their health. It starts with a mental image, a strong, energetic version of themselves. That image becomes a goal. That goal sparks motivation. Then come the habits. Whether with your partner, family, or friends, that mental picture softens your reactions. You become more empathetic, more present, more patient. Slowly, your relationships shift. Your thoughts influence your behavior. Your behavior shapes your reality. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. It's a timeless reminder that what you imagine with consistency and clarity can become what you experience. After visualizing your goals and understanding how imagination shapes the life you desire, the next step is learning to protect and cultivate that vision through silence. While imagination sets things in motion, silence gives them space to grow. Lesson 8. Be silent and connect with the universe. Silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a sacred mental space, a place where the clutter of the outside world falls away, and you finally have the freedom to listen inward. In our hyper-connected world, where endless notifications, breaking news, and digital noise flood our minds daily, many people feel overwhelmed, drained, and directionless. And in those moments, silence becomes a powerful tool, not to escape life, but to reclaim clarity. When you pause the outside chatter, you begin to hear the only voice that truly matters, your own. In silence, that your true desires, values, and direction begin to surface. This is precisely what Stoic philosophy teaches: patience, self-control, and reflection. The Stoics believe that in silence, we discover strength, not the loud strength of dominance, but the quiet strength of wisdom. A striking example of this is Albert Einstein, known not only for his revolutionary scientific contributions. Einstein also deeply valued solitude. He often took long, slow walks in nature, not to escape, but to think. In that quiet space, he wasn't chasing answers. He was making room for them. As he once said, "I am not very smart. I just spend more time thinking about the questions that others ignore." That's the essence of what silence offers us. Through stillness, he found the space to entertain ideas that later became groundbreaking discoveries. It wasn't simply the silence of his surroundings. It was the silence of his mind, a stillness where distractions were set aside and pure thought could emerge. So why is silence essential in connecting with the universe? Because it allows us to pause, reflect, and truly listen to ourselves and to the subtle signals around us. In those moments, we're no longer pulled by what others expect. We're not competing. We're not reacting. We are simply being. And in that state of being, we start to see our dreams more clearly. We recognize what we really want, and we begin to align with the actions that move us in that direction. Silence isn't just an absence, it's an invitation, a chance to create space where new ideas, insights, and opportunities can enter. When your mind is at peace, decisions that reflect who you truly are. In those quiet moments, we stop chasing what's out of reach and start connecting with the abundant potential that already surrounds us. Silence becomes the gateway, not just to peace, but to power. Every pause becomes purposeful. Every moment of stillness becomes sacred. And with each breath, you're no longer fighting life, you're flowing with it. When practiced consistently, silence helps you manifest everything you desire, from inner peace to outer success. You stop worrying about what you can't control. You begin to move in harmony with life itself. So ask yourself, are you ready to truly listen? Not to the noise of the world, but to the soft voice within? Silence is not weakness. It is rebirth. It is the first step toward true freedom. And when you choose to listen with patience and presence, you'll find that the path ahead was never lost. It was simply waiting for you to become still enough to see it. The universe has already prepared incredible things for you. All it asks is that you slow down and listen. After embracing the silence that connects us to the universe, we begin to see more clearly what Stoic philosophy has always shown us: that calmness and patience are not just admirable traits, they are the very foundation for manifesting everything you truly desire. Stoicism teaches us that worrying about what lies beyond our control is futile. True power comes from within, from the moments of stillness where we reconnect with our inner strength. When you learn to stay composed under pressure, you don't just manage your emotions, you create space. Space for clarity, space for good things to arrive naturally. You stop chasing and start attracting. So now, let me ask you, are you ready to apply this principle in your life? Are you willing to relax your mind, trust the process, and allow what you seek to come to you through calm, focused presence? Or are you still holding on to doubts and tension that you're ready to let go of? A. Yes, I'm ready to trust and apply the power of calmness. B. No, I still worry about things beyond my control. If this video helped you reflect, gave you a sense of peace, or inspired you to take even one small step forward, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And if you're curious to explore more Stoic wisdom that can reshape the way you live, be sure to check out the recommended videos waiting for you at the end. They're filled with timeless insights to help you live with clarity, purpose, and strength.